Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz Universe to the channel. This is the Mighty Mouse, the original tier 10 German heavy tank in the game. I think this was actually the first line of German tanks into the game, and then the E100 came, and now we also have the VK7201K. But we're looking at the Mouse today. A big block of steel, very heavily armored, really slow, low DPM, but it's a tank that everybody wants to get, and there's a reason for it, because it's just monumental. It's a behemoth. It's legendary. It's a completely ridiculous design if you look at it from the technical perspective, logistical as well. It was completely bonkers. There's one Mouse currently still preserved in the Kubinka Tank Museum in Russia. I really want to get there once and look at the Mouse if possible at all. Not sure if we will ever be able to get there, but I would love to go there. But yeah, I digress. We're going to talk about the Mouse in the game. And as said, it is a tank that a lot of people want to get. And to be honest, I've played the Mouse a few times on the press account because, well, I have that tank on the press account and I can play tanks on the press account whenever I want to. And I've been slowly plugging away towards getting the Mouse on my own account. And originally, you had to go to this tank starting at the VK4502B. But now that has been changed, obviously, and you can come from the VK101B and then the Motion, and then you go towards the Mouse. The VK101P pretty much helps you get into the sort of gameplay that is akin to the Mouse, which is slowish, which is somewhat sluggish, which is going into a position, holding the line for your team, and basically being that big anvil that your team can revolve around. You're never really the striking force when it comes to really pushing a flag, well, in regards to firepower it is. It is a tank that can go to a position where you can hold the line, and yes, you will be able to keep pushing hard into enemy territory. And if you are in a good position like this, where gravy for everyone is just showing us what to do, then this tank is going to be epic. And his platoon mate in the WZ113, Ethan China, or is it Ethan China in the... No, it's Ethan China over here in the Mouse. Sorry, buddy. We've got good old gravy in the WZ113 on the cap, and Ethan is rolling forward. They are losing a few tanks, as you can see. And the Mouse, as said, is not about mobility, but at close quarters like this, that is less of a problem, and especially if a T-57 Heavy with that autoloading gun has a damaged turret, a broken turret, and he has to revolve the complete tank around to be able to shoot you. Other than that, everybody will spam gold at this tank. And they see you, they will just load the gold, and they will start shooting you. And the Mouse, as well armored as it is, I mean, it's mostly flat plates. The sides are slightly angled on the turret, it's slightly angled on the back, it has some rounded shapes on the turret front, the front plate it's slightly angled, but between the tracks there's a lower plate which a lot of people can just penetrate. Tank destroyers will want to shoot hash at you or big heat on the sides of your hull, but luckily there's some tracks on top of that as well, and a little bit of spaced armor, I think. But the gun on the Mouse, it is not well known for its armor penetration capabilities. Actually, it's pretty weak. It's only 246 on AP, because you have basically the same gun as a Yark Tiger, 12.8 centimeters in terms of caliber. And 246 is just not going to cut it. When you go to APCR, you go to 311, but then again, you've got APCR on the FV215B that gets to 326, and the heat shield on a lot of the tanks you will be facing can go through your cheeks and your side plates like butter, no problem whatsoever. Even if you have a tank that is very well armored. You just look at the front of this Jagdpanzer E100, oh, that hurt. And the front of this IS-7, that hurt as well. But we've all seen from Twister Cup and not the latest one, 2019, but Twisted Cup in Minsk in 2018, what a mouse versus an IS-7 is capable of doing. And this Jagdpanzer E100 decided to resort to firing HE, but the armor is just so very thick that will nearly always bounce, and you can go through the front of a Jagdpanzer E100 yourself through the cheeks if you shoot a PCR. So that's what Ethan is doing. He's doing a magnificent job of holding off this IS-7 at bay. He's angling and wiggling the tank like a boss and just absorbing shots to make it possible for Wrecker 7F7 in the AMX 50B to finish off this IS-7. It's a combined effort. There he goes, one shot in, yes, wiggle a bit, wait for it, he's reloaded, there we go, lovely stuff. Great teamwork on the fly platooning. And just look at the block damage. 5,000 damage dealt, 4,350 block, and we can now clear. Let me go! Okay, well, fair enough. No problem, never mind. Love games like this. And I'm showing you this game from Ethan, and you might be thinking, what? Why aren't you showing your own mouse games? Well, I tend to panic when people go in and rush me. I tend to over-angle my tank and not play as patiently as Ethan has just done, or John is going to do here on Canal. And semi-open maps, longer maps, big maps like this, you don't really want to be in a mouse at first. But a little bit of map knowledge comes into play then. Imagine you're in a mouse and you decide to go towards A cap on Canal. That's a bad idea. If your team is completely made up or mostly made up out of lights and mediums and they want to go towards D, you can get isolated then fairly effectively. And yes, the mouse is very well armored, and yes, you've got a whopping hit point pool of 2,500, but you will want to use that enhanced armor on this one. It will make the mouse even bouncier than it is already. And Jordan is making the right call already. Just go forward over here, spot the FE, shoot the FE, and pull back into cover. And do you notice how he's already protected by the buildings? I mean, it's a bit of an educated guess going forward over there, but he could go forward and push beyond the middle line of the map, across this little crevice down here, this ravine, but he doesn't do that. He's going to stay here, blocks a shot from the FE-4005, then one from the Death Star, and then another one from the FE-4005, and there is 1,850 damage blocked within 5 seconds or so. And 1,815 damage blocked, that is one Object 140 saved, and then you can shoot this IS-7 on the tracks, and then he bounces, and then the Pattern's gonna go around and bounce on him as well. 350. Well, good of you, Pattern, trying to go through with AP. I would have switched to APCR straight away, and Ethan is already angling up. You can see that wiggle a bit, wiggle a bit, wiggle a bit. Yes, keep the lower plate behind that truck, and now behind the piles, behind the log piles. Yes, the E75 is not shooting still. Yes, he shoots, and he's tracked and bounces a shot again. 225 from the right side. That's 2,858 damage blocked already, and you have seen nothing yet. This is a great game. This is a great game. And I've loved watching these replays where people send me games that I could only dream of, I think. I mean, it's possible to do this. I could do this as well because other people do it too. But yeah, it's just, this is just epic. And he's not racking up the damage yet. I mean, 1,344 damage. It's about half your own health. And half your own health is good, but it's by no means massive. And this PJ, stock PJ, God bless him, he's trying his best. He's trying his best. The Jagdhawk is doing admirably here. He knows there's an E75 on the left. He knows he has to go forward over there. This FE-4005 still hasn't figured out there's a mouse in front of him. Neither has this Leopard PJ. Oh, hello, gonna shoot you again. And Ethan, John is gonna keep blocking damage. And he is now, in close cooperation with the Jagdhawk, being the anvil on which around the hammer of his team can hit the Reds, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And a lot of jerking and wiggling with the mouse or on the touch screen of his phone or iPad. He's just angling constantly. He's just never giving the enemy a clear-cut opportunity to be able to shoot him. And if you look at the damage blocked, he hasn't lost a single hit point yet. He's blocked twice his own amount of hit points. Of course he's going to win this one. He's just not in time to save his Yark time, but bye-bye FE405 now. No problem whatsoever. One tank taken out. And he has saved 3 teammates now in total? I mean, every shot you block is a shot that's not gonna penetrate you or your teammates. And he's still not done yet. Jordan is gonna push through, keep going through. You can see the mouse is a slow tank. It can go up these ridges ever so slightly. E75 has just finished off, which means he can take the time and bounce. I haven't mentioned the rather poor penetration yet on the mouse gun. And he also knows where the waffle is. I mean, the waffle is still on top. He blocked a few shots from that direction, goes forward, yes, oh hello waffle, shoot you again, and then back up into cover. The waffle was not prepared. He could have let his turret swing out on the back maybe. E75 takes a shot, yes, bounces on one of the pipes in front of him, and Ethan is now, sorry mate, it's not Ethan, it's Jordan. Jordan is rolling forward, and the E75 is now down to a one shot. Waffle available? No, not available. No ping, no light bulb. Oh, there's waffle, right. We can go down then over here, pick up some speed, and lose the speed instantly because the mouse is a heavy tank. And you just can't go through soft terrain like some other heavy tanks at tier 10 can. But like I said, this is a tank which you have to use in a blocking fashion. You have to keep it into a position where you can block shots and save your teammates, and that means that the Japan's E100 can survive, and the camping E75 at spawn 1 can survive as well. And yes, a 12.8 centimeter gun is not brilliant in terms of AP penetration, but HE will do the trick most of the time against waffle tractors, except for this one. 6,220 in bye-bye waffle. There we go. 3 kills, 4.5k damage in total. And everything. Great more sleep. Give the ball. Every time. On the scout. GG, Jordan, thank you very much for being a form this display and allowing me to use it in the mighty mouse. Become a mouse to